Hello my dear friends, finally I found a moment to record a very brief and up to the point January horoscope. So today I'm gonna give you just the most important things for January. I am recording this on December 31st. I didn't think I was actually gonna be able to make this happen. However, I found a minute this morning, so I do hope you appreciate it. If you do, please make sure you let me know by giving this video a big thumbs up and making sure you're subscribing to my channel. I also want to wish you all guys a happy new year. May 2025 be the best year yet. And if you want your personalized 2025 consultation, those are officially last ones. We are closing it January 1st. I guess January 1st will be the last day to book it. And yes, we will see you in the new year. Now, I want to start this by giving you a few most important transits for the month of January. We are starting January actually, well, technically we are still in the energy of new moon of Capricorn that happened in the night of December 30th. And then we are starting January with Mars opposition to Pluto. So Mars is currently retrograde, still in the sign of Leo, about to oppose Pluto in Aquarius. And of course, this is the energy that calls for a little bit more caution. I wouldn't suggest you take any unnecessary risks. Try to minimize just any kind of, difficult or dangerous situation to the degree that it's possible. I think on a positive level, the way I've been feeling this transit personally is that it's a very transformative energy where you can identify obstacles, you can identify maybe even hidden obstacles, and you can kind of like activate, I guess, this willpower within in order to essentially overcome whatever this current obstacles that you have. That's the way I've been feeling it. I have a whole separate video on this. It's a very lengthy transit. We're not going to be done with it, anytime soon. The retrograde itself ends in February, yes, but at the same time, the whole transit is gonna be there till like June, so do check out that video. Now we will also have, of course, January 6th. This is when Mars re-enters the sign of Cancer. So this is when we go back maybe to some themes that were emerging for us already in November, maybe some of you even in October, and we might revisit something in our life with a different with a different mindset now. It's almost like old problem might resurface again, not to say that it will, but maybe something you are currently working on, something you're overcoming. It might resurface, but you might have a completely different outlook on it. Like, I'm going to give you an example how it manifested for me. There is something like that I'm currently working through when it comes to my career and just different ambitions I have for myself. And there was some stuff that I just really didn't want to look at. And I feel like this Mars in Leo gave me the confidence, I want to say, to not be intimidated by that anymore. So for a lot of us, again, there's something that, maybe it's something ongoing that you have going on with your career. I'm a Scorpio rising, so yeah, for me it's career-wise. Social status, it depending where this transit occurs for you, it could be something related to that area of your life. And essentially now there is an opportunity to look at something from the past, but revisit it with a completely different consciousness. Maybe you're not scared anymore, and now you have a game plan and you can do what you need to do. Now, January 12th is when we're going to have the North Node come into Pisces. So we've been talking about this. I will make a separate video, but yes, this is a big shift of energy, which I do recommend you to perhaps maybe even focusing more on this North Node and Pisces energy, because we will also have Venus enter Pisces in the month of January as well. So it's very, very it's time to envision this big dreams, goals, desires for ourselves and focus on that with North Node and Pisces. Create your dream life. January is very much this month where for a lot of us there's going to be that opportunity. January 13, we're going to have full moon in Cancer, 24 degrees, no Pluto opposition anymore, so great news. January 21st, we're going to have Pluto Cazimi, Pluto and the Sun together at 1 degrees 42 minutes Aquarius. This is right around American inauguration. This is huge, new era, I think, for American politics, for the United States, for the world itself. We probably will make a separate video on this. I did already talk about because I predicted Trump winning. So one of, I don't even know honestly who else predicted it, because there were a lot of people who said something, then they changed their mind. Most were not predicting him to win. So yeah, one of my personally things that I'm very proud of is, of course, being able able to correctly predict Trump winning. Yes, I'm very proud. It's one of my 2024 definitely good moments, because no one in the Western astrology community really said this. So yes, I will make a separate video on this. I already did my initial, when I was making that prediction, I made also as part of that video, it was posted in August on my other channel, which is more like politically, I guess, inclined, because I like to cover geopolitics on that one. I will link it down below in case if you're interested. But essentially in that video, I was talking about inauguration, and before we even knew who the president was going to be, I was saying that based on the inauguration date, we can see a few things where, which direction likely the future president is going to go in. And this was actually, when I looked at the inauguration, it was one of the other kind of like factors that made me confident that he was going to win, because of the things I saw in an inauguration chart. But again, not to get sidetracked about that. Yes, so it's a big day, January 21st. And then what else do we have? January ends with new moon in Aquarius at 10 degrees, kind of like, not in the same exact part, but it's close. It's still in the first 10 degrees of Aquarius, and we essentially end the month, and we start the next month with Venus also conjunct North Node, again in the sign of Pisces. So overall, yes, it is a big month with different shifts: North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. I do have, I will talk about this more in the other video. With South Node in Virgo, I do have a little bit of concerns, in terms of, like, definitely take care of your health more during this time. There is different, on a more collective scale level, things that are happening with Sun and Pluto, of course, right around inauguration. That's a big energy too. But of course, the most important energy is probably the shift of North Node into Pisces, and also Venus shifting into Pisces. Of course, this is highly arguable, but this is according to me, because again, Venus is going to go retrograde later on in the year. It's going to start in sign of Aries and going to re-enter Pisces. North Node is in Pisces, like North Node stays in the same sign approximately 18 months. So yeah, I think that's probably the shift that's much more important rather than other things. Essentially, yes, I think, I was talking about this with someone else yesterday, that it's interesting that, even though Gregorian New Year is not kind of, truly the beginning of New Year, it's more so spring equinox. However, I think it's interesting that it's the beginning of Gregorian New Year, and this is the time when people usually set all their resolutions, right, for the year ahead. And ironically, it always coincides with Capricorn season, and it's always right around new moon of Capricorn. And even if it's not exactly next to new moon of Capricorn, like we have it like this year, still usually this is Capricorn season. Capricorn is very goal oriented, as you know, it's all about resolutions. And during this time, all of us become a little bit like Capricorns. We have all these big goals, big plans usually for ourselves. So I think January is going to be a good time to focus on those goals, and also again with all the Pisces energy, to allow yourself to really operate from your heart space. Maybe be less critical of yourself, but more, allow yourself, celebrate your little victories, like give yourself that, space to dream and envision a better future. Now I'm going to go very quickly into all the 12 signs and going to give you recommendations, just a little quick advice for January 2025. Again, this is New Year's Eve, so the horoscopes are a little bit express, but anyway, you guys, let's go. So let's start with Aries. So the North Node is entering your 12th house, Venus is entering 12th house too, South Node is entering your 6th house. So this is about really asking yourself what are the things you actually really need to be working on, and what are the things that just keeping you busy, allowing yourself to rest more, allowing yourself maybe to be a little bit more private during this time is somehow important for you. Removing the work that's not necessary, that's busy, and just allowing yourself some time to rest, recuperate, relax, okay? For Taurus, North Node is entering your 11th house, South Node is entering your 5th house. Follow Taurus, as I'm a Taurus too, but I think this is about also removing, like, wasting time. There's time when you actually enjoy yourself, when you're having fun and going out, and there are other times when it's really not, it's like you're not even enjoying yourself, just spending money, maybe even wasting money. And this is about really focusing on your goals, what you want to dream, what you want to achieve for yourself. If there's any romantic also relationships that feel not productive, like, it's not like maybe you're ready to start a family and that this person is not going to go there, what's what's the point? That kind of like no BS type of attitude, even to romantic projects too. Maybe there is also some creative projects that it's time for you to really also ask yourself how you're going to manifest them, so it's not just stays on your to-do list, year after year, but you actually get things done. So good luck, Taurus. For Geminis, North Node is in the 10th house, South Node in the 4th house. This is about understanding which way is your career moving, which way do you want to move perhaps your career, big goals for career success, dreaming about this success, maybe removing the influence of somebody from your home and family who is not supportive. Maybe you have some critical family members who don't believe in you. You're distancing yourself a little bit from that and focusing on what you want to achieve, your success. For Cancerian, North Node enters your 9th house, South Node enters your 3rd house, Venus enters your 9th house too. So this is about, again, rediscovering your philosophy, maybe letting go of those small ideas and dreaming bigger ideas for yourself. Travel is important time right now. You will find like a renewed purpose in life through travel experiences. Could be also new spiritual like growth opportunity could come into your life. Seeing bigger picture somehow could help right now too. So good luck, Cancerians. There's going to be also full moon in your sign. Those of you guys who have placements around 24th degree of Cancerian, there could be something very big happening for you right in the middle of the month. And there's a sense of like accomplishment, coming to like accomplishing something rather big. For Leos, North Node enters your 8th house, Venus goes there too, South Node enters your 2nd house. This is about understanding that there are certain goals and certain things you want to do that is not possible for you to achieve without the support of other people. So whether it is financial support, whether it's talent you need, whether it is just trusting others more, not just relying on yourself and on your resources. There's good opportunities also for things related to credit, loans, grants, scholarships, things like this. I feel like this is where your focus in January might be. How can you utilize support of others, talents, resources of others in order to achieve your big and lofty goals? Maybe even going back and working behind the scenes a little bit, because again, Mars is in retrograde in your sign, but it's entering Cancer, your 12th house, in the month of January. So understanding what resources you need in order to achieve your goals for yourself. Now for Virgos, North Node is in the 7th house, now South Node in the 1st house. This is about letting go of perhaps, shedding old skin and focusing really on building new contacts, focusing on building new relationships. Again, it's not just about romantic, it could be about those partnerships, business partnerships, relationships with clients, letting go of your old identity in some way where maybe you yourself been criticizing yourself too much, being hard on yourself. And now with North Node in the 7th, really attracting those people who believe in you. Honestly, it goes such a long way when you have people around you who believe in you, when you have close partnerships with people who believe in you. I am a Virgo moon, and let me tell you something, I am super critical of myself, most because of certain ways how I grew up, but recently I've been able to attract a lot of very supportive people in my life, friends and just community who are so supportive of me. And it's such an unusual experience for me because I haven't experienced this growing up, and then later on being on YouTube also been not always the easiest thing. And recently I've been attracting these people who really believe in me and they celebrate my success the way I was never able to appreciate or celebrate my success. And I have to tell you, it goes a long way. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is going to be about building those people who building relationship with those people who lift you up, not drag you down anymore, because sometimes the harshest critic, of course, is you yourself. Of course, we'll talk more about this particular transit because there's eclipses there too. But anyway, good luck, Virgos. Let's go to Libras. For Libras, this is North Node transit in your 6th, South Node in the 12th. You could become much more busy, much more focused on work, health, fitness, routines. Of course, this is also about removing some kind of subconscious beliefs. Could be with South Node in the 12th house. Limiting beliefs could be. This is a great time to reprogram yourself. Whenever you have South Node going through your 12th house, this is the time where you can remove something that's been blocking you, something that's been limiting you. I just recently myself have gone through this transit. For me, it was South Node and Libra in the 12th. And a lot of things, a lot of very toxic things I used to believe about relationships, what I deserve in relationships, how relationships even should be, all this unrequited love, bullshit, romantic nonsense. I was able to purge and let go of it to the degree that I cannot even believe that I used to be attracted to some of that stuff and used to believe in some of that stuff. But for you, of course, it's a little bit different with South Node and Virgo in the 12th. This is about removing maybe self-criticism, where you are very critical of yourself in some way, subconsciously don't love yourself, don't believe yourself. So good luck, Libras. We'll of course talk more about this transit. Happy New Year. For Scorpios, North Node enters your 5th, South Node enters your 11th. Very simple, Scorpios. This is the time for you to remove people who are only bringing you down from your life. If you have all these naysayers, if you have people who are constantly just criticizing you, constantly bring you down, and it's negatively affecting you, again, whether it's friends, whether it's some people on social media, whether it's just people who disrespect you, people who shrink you, South Node in Virgo in the 11th house can really bring you sometimes some of these nasty experiences with people. And I just see you removing, that from your life and focusing with North Node in the 5th on happiness, on what brings you happy, your self-expression, standing strong in your light, not shrinking yourself to be digestible anymore, not dimming your light to fit in because of bullying or because of people who are critical of you, people who don't believe you. Actually, I'm a Scorpio rising, one of my New Year's resolution is literally to remove everybody who's bringing me down from my life, focusing on what makes you happy, standing very, very strong in this light, choosing yourself, choosing your creative projects, creative dreams, being that celebrity perhaps for some of you, or just really owning, what you want, not what everyone wants from you. If there's somebody who is trying to humble you, again, one of my New Year's resolutions is like removing all this toxicity. I just really, don't have any more patience to deal with this. As a Taurus, Sun, Scorpio rising, pretty patient person, but once I'm not playing anymore, I'm not playing anymore. So yes, for me, one of my New Year's resolution, if you disrespect me once, you're out of my life. There is no re-entry. It doesn't matter if it's somebody I know in real life, if it's on social media, if it's a neighbor, if it's a friend. You disrespect me once, you're out. Like, there is no re-entry. Like, it's very simple. It might sound harsh, but it's very simple. Just don't disrespect me, and it's not gonna happen. So really demanding that respect, and if it's not given, or removing these people. Yeah, and if there's like all these people who want to humble you, again, one of the things I recently learned, I think it was a random clip on social media that showed up this morning actually, about people who want to humble you. Truly, the reason why this is so is because they are someone who is being humbled in their own life. So whether it is, like for me, a social media creator, like, of course, there's people who watch you, right? They might sit at the job where their boss is humbling them all day long. Maybe their parents, maybe their wife or husband, especially men on social media sometimes, like I don't have these experiences anymore, but before, when I used to, it's like all these people who, give you remarks, rate you, like you would not even ever be in the same zip code as me, and you are rating me here, It's like, Jeff Bezos probably would not rate me, even though he's not far, from zip code of me. Could say, I guess, we're neighbors on some level. Not on some level, but yeah, he lives in Miami too. Yeah, all those people who want to humble you, but yet they are not anywhere even on your level. They have many, many stairs to climb, which, we can wish them well. But yeah, removing that, we don't need that, because we are focusing on what makes us happy. We are flying high this year. We are going for those things with North Node and Pisces, the 5th house, is those big dreams, maybe dreams you had since a child. Something I did yesterday, I was thinking about, when I was studying very hard, when I was like in middle school and high school, before I moved to the United States, before I got a scholarship to study here. I had all these dreams when I was putting all these hours of work for myself. What were those dreams? Not forgetting them. When I first moved to New York City also, when I was 18, my first trip to New York City, I'll never forget that. What were those dreams then? What did I want for myself? And remembering those dreams, not to say that you have to dream the same dreams now, obviously you've grown and evolved, but remembering that, honoring that inner child and those big heart opening moments you had, and now seeing, which way, how can you align yourself with that higher version of yourself, happy version of yourself. So anyway, Scorpios, Happy New Year. Yes, January is going to be a great month. Now let's go to Sagittarius. North Node enters your 4th house, South Node enters your 10th house. Focus on home, family, heart center, and not just on all the demands maybe of work. If there is horrible bosses, so to say, or very critical bosses, figures, people who demand a lot of you, you are reconsidering that and focusing more on putting your roots down in some way, focusing more on what makes you happy, what makes you feel more comfortable, more at home. There is, of course, we've gone through Sagittarius season, we've gone through Mercury retrograde. I mean, there is a lot of personal life really continues, I feel like, for a lot of you to go to get better. So good luck, Sagittarius. For Capricorns, North Node enters your 3rd, South Node enters your 9th. This is about focusing on realistic solutions. Be where you are instead of being all over the place and maybe approaching something in an unrealistic way. I mean, for Capricorns, this is your season. South Node in the 9th, even though in Virgo it plays out a little bit different than how it would typically play out. I just feel like for you it's about speaking your message, sharing your message, focusing on this brand new version of yourself. And maybe there are certain beliefs you used to have about the world, certain things you used to believe. Maybe you were liking to travel a lot, or maybe there were some foreigners you were closely connected to. You're letting go parts of it. How exactly, we'll take a look more in this specific video for this. But I feel like you're focusing more on where you are, what you have to say, practical solutions, kind of like local solutions, rather than, thinking this bigger things that maybe, again, some ideas you had about the world, about yourself, are no longer relevant. So big shifts this month. For Aquarius, North Node is in the 2nd house, South Node is in the 8th house. For just some of you, I guess this could be because we do have full moon and cancerian in your 7th. There could be a culmination of partnership. Again, not always an ending, but something big happening with your relationship. Could be chapter closes. For Aquarius, North Node enters your 2nd, South Node your 8th. This is the time for you to focus on building up resources. Maybe some resources of other people are no longer available. Maybe you don't want support of somebody anymore. A person was supporting you but was critical of you. You're focusing less on what others have to say to you, what others believe, what others tell you should do, and focusing more on finding your own voice, your own truth, what you believe in, and building yourself up through your own efforts. For Pisces, North Node enters your 1st house, South Node enters your 7th house, letting go of critical partners who are just diminishing your light, shrinking you, and focusing on rediscovering who you are. With Venus and North Node together, again, even though they're not conjunct until February 1st, technically still, this is, for you, this moment of where you are starting to build yourself up again. For some of you, again, January is this month where you're rediscovering yourself, you're rediscovering your voice, you're starting to build yourself up again, you're investing in yourself. If there's been some partner or just people who've been not really contributing anything positive in your life, but only negativity, or somehow you just felt small because of associating with those, you're letting this go. In a way, kind of like for Pisces, well, I guess for Pisces and for Scorpios, there's a little bit of similarities in the trends you're experiencing. But anyway, you guys, I know it's very brief, but I still wanted to give you something. Happy New Year. I wish you all the best. December 31st here, I hope the year begins really great for you, and January continues, to be just this amazing month. I love you all. Let me know how you're celebrating in the comments down below. I'm so grateful to have you on my channel. Thank you so much for being with me. Happy New Year. If you need anything from my shop, links are going to be down below. I love you all. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Bye bye.